Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So it is time to get deep and meaningful, so let's just jump right into it. So today we're gonna talk about my biggest fear. My biggest fear ever. And I don't know how much I've shared this with people. I don't know. Maybe some will be like, yeah, I remember that. Or maybe some people will be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Anyway, my biggest fear, and this has been my fear for quite some time, is being 30 years old or reaching 30 years of age and being single. I don't know what about it is like daunting for me, but it's like, who keeps anyway, I take that back. I know who it is. It's just like, I don't want to be 30 and single and like looking, you know, on dating. I don't mean that I want to be like married and like with a family. I definitely want those things. But what I don't want to be doing in my 30s is searching for someone or waiting for someone. And I read this article a couple days ago on the Huffington Post, and it was talking about how this man, his name was David Toussaint, he was talking about how he's 50 years old and he's gay and single, and how, you know, it's, I guess, really hard for him. You know, he describes getting questions like, what's wrong with you? Like, why are you still single? And I've definitely gotten that before, you know, in terms of like guys who are like, why are you single? Like, and this is not to toot my own horn, but like, you know, like, you're a catch. Like, how are you single? Or why are you single? You know, and you would think that those comments would make you feel like good, but for me, like, they don't make me feel good. You know, it's like, it makes me feel like there's something wrong with me. And, you know, a part of me knows that there is nothing wrong with me, but at the same time, it's like, then if there's something wrong with me, you know, like, why haven't I like found someone? Or, you know, and it's not like I haven't put myself out there. I really have put myself out there. And, you know, I'm on dating apps, and I know some apps are more geared towards dating than others. Like, I don't think I'm gonna like find love, you know, on Jack'd or Grindr. But, you know, there are apps like OkCupid where the demographics of the people who are on the app, you know, are seeking LTR, long-term relationships. So it's like, I don't want to be 30 and still in that conquest to find someone, or, you know, to meet Mr. Right. It's like, I want that to sort of happen now, because the way or where I picture myself when I'm at 30 is really settling down, really, you know, starting to make life-altering decisions with another person, and building a family, you know. So that's what I want to start doing at 30. I want to be financially stable at 30, and all those things I'm working towards. But it's like, I feel like I've got all of the pieces except that, and that's not one of those things that you can achieve by buying it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, maybe you can, but I'm not, you know, that's not what I want, or that's not what I'm looking for. So it's like, you know, yeah, I have a decent job, you know, I have my own place. Like, I'm very independent. I'm very stable in a sense. But when it comes to that, when it comes to relationships, it's like, that's the one piece that's off. And it's been off for some time. I was single for like 2 years where I was actually enjoying being single. And now I'm going on year 3 where it's like, okay, I'm ready to like start, you know, even if it's like a failed relationship, I would much rather that than this quest of going on dates and trying to see if the shoe fits, and, you know, like going on a date and like the guy saying something that's, to me, I would consider like inappropriate. Like, stop making comments about my fucking ass. Like, can we talk about something else? Or like, like, what are your goals? Like, what are your goals? Tell me, you know? And it's like, it's so funny because I was having a conversation with my cousin today, and, you know, she was talking about how a friend of hers was asking if I was still single or whatnot. And, you know, she was telling her friend how you know, I was still single, and that a lot of and I agree with her, part of the reason why I am single is because a lot of people are somewhat intimidated by me and the things that I've achieved at an early age in my life. And it's so crazy how that's worked backward. Like, it's worked against me, in the sense that I would be attracted to someone who is goal-oriented, someone who is extremely independent, someone who is stable in their life and has a vision for where they want to be in the next 5 years, you know? So to hear from people, because I've been told from people that they are intimidated, or they think that I'm not going to, I guess, they're not going to fit the bill because they may not be where they want to be, or they have this idea that, you know, they are not where I would want them to be. So it's just so, like, it's so mixy, like, crazy. All I really want, like, of course, I want someone who is, you know, self-motivated, someone who has goals, someone who is, like, family-oriented. But at the same time, like, I'm not gonna dub you because, you know, you're struggling, you know, with whatever it may be. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't have a degree, a college degree, that's okay. There are plenty of jobs. There are plenty of people who have worked very hard and have gotten through in life and, you know, are in really great places without a degree. So it's not like, you know, I'm gonna go down a list of, you know, a laundry list of things and be like, girl, bye, bloop, bloop. I mean, there are some non-negotiables. Let's not get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely am attracted to someone who is goal-oriented, you know, someone who is trying to always better themselves. I've been in prior relationships where I felt like I was the person who was carrying that weight in terms of getting to the next step, and having goals, you know. And so for me, I don't want someone who isn't goal oriented. So there are some non-negotiables, but from what I've been told, the interpretation that people have of what my non-negotiables are completely, like, you know, like, I had a guy tell me, oh, you know, like, you have a really nice car, you know, you drive a nice car. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I drive a nice car because I worked really hard for it. And that's something that I rewarded myself with. It's not like, you know, I just said, I need a hot car because I want all these guys after me. You know what I'm saying? That's not the case. But for some reason, that's what translates. And I don't know how to, you know, sort of, I don't know how to make it more transparent that I'm not this, like, stuck up person. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's just such a catch-22, and it's just like such a double-edged sword. And this article didn't help, like, me at all in this fear of mine that I have, you know? And, like, right now, as it stands, there are some potential people, you know, in terms of, like, dating or whatever. We haven't even gone on dates, but you know, they're people who I would pursue dating, and there's more than one. So it's just a matter of seeing how it develops and where it goes. But, you know, I'm at a point where, you know, I'm 27. I don't want to be, you know, 30 doing this. And this is, like, crazy. For some people, it's like, what the freak are you talking about? Like, you're so young, you know, you should be out there having fun. And it's one of the things that I was telling, you know, my cousin. I feel in the gay community, a lot of our men, especially men of color, don't have our fucking priorities straight. And excuse my language, but this is a DNM. Like, let's just get deep and meaningful. You know, like, we don't have our priorities straight. And we would much rather, you know, stunt for the gram and take some nice pictures, which is beautiful. I love taking nice pictures too. But at the same time, you living in a small shoebox room at your mother's house. And that's not to knock you, but it's to point out the priorities. So when I see certain things like that, I'm like, I don't know where your priorities are at. So I'm already at like, are you not? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not certain if that person is in the right, if that person is in their right place. You know what I'm saying? And I want to make sure that I'm with someone who's in their right place. And maybe that's their right place. You know what I'm saying? Going out every weekend and, you know, sniping for the gram and whatnot. That's all good and gravy. But what I'm saying is, let's move forward. Like, let's be better. You know what I'm saying? I can go out and have fun. I've gone out on weekends. You know, I don't do it every freaking weekend. That's my personal choice. But at the same time, you know, I would rather, you know, be secure. I'd rather, you know, be like, all right, I need this money for my rent because I'm not trying to be living in mom's house. I'm not trying to couch surf from friend to friend, you know? So, and again, part of me understands that some people think, well, you're still very young. And that's great. But for me, I feel like I'm like an old soul trapped in the body of a young person. Like, I would much rather Netflix and chill than go out to a bar, you know. And I enjoy going out to a bar, but I would much rather stay home, chill, watch some Netflix, like order in some food and like just chill and like, you know, that quality time. And this cuddle season coming right around. So listen, I am just like trying to figure out how this is gonna work, trying to get my rotation together because wintertime is coming right around the corner and I'm not trying to be by myself. As desperate as that may sound to some, for me, it's just very important. Like, I value companionship. And like I said, I've been single for 3 years, since 2014, going on almost 4 years. And I'm just ready to move on. But with that being said, let's call it a night tonight. And thank you for watching. If you have any comments, if you can relate, if you feel like you're going through the same things where it's like, yo, like, I don't want to be single. Like, I'm tired of the whole, like, you know, you talking to someone and their first question is, oh, you top or bottom. Like, if you have any of those sentiments or you feel like you can relate, drop a comment below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And thank you for watching.